2 years after becoming Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who works at Joe's Pizza, gets fired after being late to work. Peter Parker is alienated from both his love interest Mary Jane Watson and his dearest companion Harry Osborn, and finds that his Aunt May is facing eviction. He ends up experiencing temporary repeating losses of his powers, often in life-threatening situations. Harry, who is presently head of Oscorp's Genetics and Scientific Examination Division, is supporting a fusion power project by nuclear researcher Otto Octavius, who becomes friends with and guides Peter. While taking care of unsafe materials, Octavius wears an outfit of strong robotic tentacle arms with artificial intelligence. During a public demonstration that Peter and Harry join in, a power spike makes the fusion reactor weaken. Octavius refuses to shut down the reactor, which goes critical, killing his wife and burning the inhibitor chip obstructing the arms from his nervous system. As Spider-Man, Peter figures out how to shut the experiment down. At a hospital, specialists plan to eliminate Octavius' harness carefully. Without the inhibitor chip, the arms have become aware and shield themselves by killing the specialists. Thereafter, Octavius takes shelter at a harbor. Presently ruined by the arms' AI, he chooses to reattempt his trial and robs a bank to finance it. The Daily Bugle names the researcher Dr. Octopus. While robbing the bank, Dr. Octopus captures Aunt May, but Peter saves her. Mary Jane becomes engaged to astronaut John Jameson, the son of Bugle editor J. Jonah Jameson. Peter experiences an emotional breakdown over his failure to adjust his life and loses his powers totally because of the pressure. He stops being Spider-Man, gets back to his typical life, and ineffectively endeavors to reconcile with Mary Jane. He likewise at last admits to Aunt May the truth about Uncle Ben's death. Aunt May forgives him. The garbage man handovers Spider-Man's suit, which he found in the garbage, to Daily Bugle editor J. Jonah Jameson and asks for something in return. The rise in the city's crime rates worries Peter. Requiring the isotope tritium to fuel his reactor, Octavius visits Harry to request it. Harry concurs in return for Spider-Man, whom he actually accepts is answerable for his dad's death. He advises Octavius to look for Peter, who Harry accepts as companions with Spider-Man, yet tells him to not hurt Peter. Octavius finds Peter, advises him to find Spider-Man, and captures Mary Jane. Her risk prompts Peter's powers returning, and he pursues Octavius. As they fight, they fall onto a New York City subway train. Octavius subverts it and passes on Peter to save the wrecking train, which he does at a great physical toll. Octavius captures a debilitated Peter and conveys him to Harry. Harry plans to kill Spider-Man, just to be stunned to see Peter under the mask. Peter persuades Harry to guide him to Octavius' lair, as greater things are at stake. They fight again as the nuclear response begins threatening the city. Peter uncovers his identity and convinces Octavius to allow his fantasy to go for everyone's benefit. Octavius orders the tentacles to obey him and sacrifices himself to destroy the experiment. Mary Jane sees Peter's true identity, which he says is the reason they can't be together. In the meantime, Harry is visited by a vision of his dad in a mirror, arguing for Harry to avenge for his death. Yet Harry refuses to hurt Peter. Enraged, Harry breaks the mirror, unintentionally uncovering a mystery room containing his dad's Green Goblin equipment. On her wedding day, Mary Jane leaves John at the altar and runs to Peter's apartment. After they kiss, they hear police sirens, and Mary Jane urges him to go help as Spider-Man.